kiddos, if you want to feed them some grain, that's okay. Here, hold your hand nearly flat and stick it through the fence. Sheep don't have teeth on the tap. They only have bottom teeth. So even if your fingers go in their mouth, it won't hurt you. So be brave and feed them some grain.
And because the pond level is down now, about 4 to 5 feet, you can walk around the edge of the pond and very often you'll find arrowheads because there's been a continuous native presence here for over 6,000 years, and we know that from radiocarbon dating.
So he would stand at the top of the stairs and drop the cranberries down the stairs, and he found out that the good berries made it all the way to the bottom, whereas the bad berries got stuck on the upper stairs. And he took that idea and passed it along to other people, and somebody said, well, I can duplicate that process in a machine.
The fruit first flowers in July. We bring in bees because the pollen is heavy. The pollen is too heavy to be air carried. And the fruit will then mature over the summer, and then the end of September, the berries begin to ripen up, and we grow 5 different varieties here on Milestone Bog, so each one will ripen at a slightly different time. So we begin the harvest the end of September, and we try to get done by the end of October. Sometimes if we have bad weather, it'll go into the first couple of weeks of November.
All of our fruit that's harvested on this bog typically goes off in the large tractor trailers that you see off in the distance, the red trucks, and it goes off to a place called Carver, Massachusetts, where the fruit is washed, sorted, put in a big tub, and stuck into a freezer within about 24 hours of the time that it's harvested here. So it's a quick process. The wet harvested fruit starts to deteriorate because it's bruised slightly in the process of being harvested, and it has to make it into a freezer. Once it's in the freezer, it can be held usually for as long as a year until they need to make more cranberry product from it.
There are natural bogs on Nantucket. The cranberry is native. There are only 3 cultivated berries that are native to North America: the cranberry, the blueberry, and the fox grape, and we have all 3 of those here.
For those of you who haven't been down to the bog yet, this is what a cranberry plant looks like when it's out on the bog. And most of you probably think that cranberry bogs are wet. In fact, they're not. Cranberries are ideally grown on a peat surface, which is the same kind of material. It's organic material that is decayed over a long period of time.
In 1857, there are 3 whaling captains from Nantucket that went over to learn how to cultivate the berries. And they came back, started cranberry yards in 1857 over in Pulpus. And then from that, a few years later, here at Milestone, the cranberry industry began. Wow. Now, it's the cranberry industry that kept Nantucket alive from that period at the end of whaling until tourism took over about the turn of the century.
Any questions?